Hello and welcome to my newest Clan Gen series, The Tales of WhimsyClan. For those of you who have seen my previous clan, twilightclan, this will honestly be pretty similar. For those of you who are just joining, welcome. It will probably be very similar to other Clan Gen challenges that you may have seen before. However, WhimsyClan has a bit of a history. You see, WhimsyClan was actually an ancient clan before its territory was destroyed and its cats were forced to flee, where they became loners, kitty pets, or rogues. However, hundreds of moons later, 8 young cats have been brought together, and with the guidance of Whirlpaw, one of the ancient WhimsyClan cats, they have learned that it is their destiny to revive the ancient clan. So I wanted to use this video to introduce you to our founding 8 and to tell you about the odd traditions they're going to follow. Before we can meet any of the cats, I should go over the kind of odd naming conventions followed in this clan. For starters, all of the kittens in a litter will be named following some sort of theme. Traditionally, the theme is based on the name of the mother, but as you'll see, that's not a hard rule. The interesting part of the naming patterns is that while the name a she-cat receives at birth will become her prefix all throughout life, the name a tomcat receives will later become the suffix of his warrior name. This becomes even more interesting when you add in trans and non-binary cats, because half the time they just come up with their own rules, though they will get a little name-changing ceremony. Some non-binary cats, like our lead healer, Hyacinth, just drop the 2-part name altogether. They don't have a prefix or a suffix. They just have a one-word name. And this rule only really applies when we're talking about clan-born cats, as sometimes outsiders will decide to adopt warrior names, while sometimes they just keep whatever name they had before. When it comes to things like taking mates and having kittens, this clan is super lenient. They don't really have rules that forbid medicine cats from having a family, or at least no official rules. It is generally discouraged for any high-ranking cat, that being leaders, deputies, or any medicine cats, to have kittens unless they have enough other cats that can act as a support network. So, for example, a lone medicine cat having kits would be frowned upon, but in a clan with 2 or 3 medicine cats, it's no big deal if one takes a maternity or paternity leave. A lot of the time, any kits, be that biological or adopted, that come from the healers are raised communally with all of the medicine cats. Additionally, there isn't any rule against having kits with an outsider, though it is seen as weird if you don't ask the other parent to join the clan. Honestly, any courtship outside of the clan, you're thought that if it becomes serious, you should ask them to join your clan, just because, like, it's just like joining a family. Which, of course, transitions quite nicely to our next lesson, which is policies on outsiders. As I've made clear, WhimsyClan is incredibly welcoming to outsiders. But that does not mean that any cat can just stroll in and get full membership. They have to do something to prove they belong there. For kittens, this is as simple as being adopted. There's pretty much always some cat looking in to take in a lost kid. For apprentice-aged cats, they have to get a warrior to agree to mentor them, and then as soon as they finish their training, they're considered worthy of full rights. And then for adult cats, they need to form connections in the clan. This can be familial connections, like them having a sibling that has already become a full member, somebody could take them as a mate, or they could earn the clan's trust by performing some kind of heroic deed. Oftentimes, the best solution is if it's sort of a mix of these things, but a lot of things could happen. Until such time as a cat is considered a proper member, they don't receive all of the benefits that come from being in a clan. They don't have a voice in clan voting decisions. They're usually sent on solo patrols, which can sometimes be dangerous. And in really hard times, they could be passed over for healing or access to prey. And now, finally, I can introduce you to our clan. Starting off, we have Lyrestar. She is a 12-moon-old she-cat, and before joining the clan, she was a kitty pet named Lyra. She's a really outgoing and fearless cat, so despite her young age, she was honestly a natural choice for leadership. Her deputy is the slightly younger Snowbird. She's only 11 moons old. Snowbird is another former kitty pet, and she was thrown out of her old home because she was constantly yowling and causing trouble at all hours of the night. She refused to let her poor two legs sleep. Of course, the real reason she was like this was because she was being visited by the ghosts of ancient WhimsyClan cats. But how would her two legs know that? Snowbird is training 2 apprentices right now, the older of which is the 8-moon-old Twilightpaw. Twilight was once Snowbird's kitty pet neighbor, and when she saw that Snow was being tossed out, she insisted that she come along for protection and for fun. And then Snowbird's second apprentice is the 6-moon-old Olivepaw, who used to be a loner, and she joined up with Snow and Twilight before they found their way to the clan, because sadly her mother had been hit by a car, and she honestly didn't know where else she could go. Plus, she had been having these strange dreams. And then our medicine cat is another former loner, a non-binary cat named Hyacinth. By the way, Hyacinth uses all pronouns, so while I'm mostly going to stick to they, them, Hyacinth is also fine with he or even she, though it doesn't really fit them quite as well as the others. Then we've got the oldest cat in the clan, who honestly might be my favorite. This is the 16-moon-old tomcat, Orange Juice. I am fairly sure he was chosen by Whirlpaw in order to give these other crazy kids someone calm and, well, competent to look to. He's honestly the only one that seems to have real skills. Meanwhile, his apprentice is the 9-moon-old Mimosa Paw, who was born as an alley cat and knew Orange Juice long before they received the call to join WhimsyClan. She honestly finds it a little annoying that she is still an apprentice, as she thinks she's just as capable as her older companion. Though at the same time, she really doesn't mind having to train with him all the time. It's actually really nice to spend time with the cat who's been her best friend. And finally, we're going to look at the leader's apprentice. Creampaw is actually a descendant of Whirlpaw through one of the ancient apprentice's many siblings. Even though she's only 6 moons old, she is convinced that because of her heritage, she is by default the best cat in the clan. Because of this, she has run away from her mentor a few times and tried to fight a dog. So, that's our starting group. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope you join me soon for the true year 1.